devastated and heartbroken, and there are no two other words. That's it. That's how he is, devastated and heartbroken.
This is Jonathan Agger, Fifth for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by trainer Adam Booth here at your gym ahead of Josh Kelly's media day, about 3 weeks out or so before his return in Newcastle. How much of Josh Kelly what's the percentage that we've seen of Josh Kelly, and what's still to come in your opinion, Adam?
Good question, a really good question. If you want my honest answer, I think you've probably seen 30-40% of him, of what I know he can do. All my hope for Josh is that he fulfills his potential and he starts showing in the fights what we've been seeing in the gym since 2017.
In terms of the most naturally talented fighters you've worked with, you obviously worked with a lot. Where does Josh rank in your opinion?
Right up there. Right up there.
I mean, he's got an undefeated opponent, Gabriel Alberto Corzo, I believe his name is. When it's someone you're not too familiar with, do you have to do extra research, or is it about preparing Josh to hit the best of his ability?
Both. That's just the job we do. You study the opponent, you look at his strengths, look at his weaknesses, train your guy, and you prepare for what they're going to see. That's just what we do. So the question is, yeah, we do all of that.
Are you happy with the activity Josh has had in the last year or so since he's made sort of his return from the Avanesian fight?
Yeah, so what, he had 3 fights last year, finished with the British title, and then a little period out, and now back June 24th, and the plan is for him to just be a really active main eventer now.
When you look at Josh's career path, what do you see by, say, the end of the year? Because he is very highly rated, especially in the WBO.
Yeah, I mean, after each fight, you say, well, where'd you see him going? Like before the last fight, it's like, well, he'll beat Troy, he'll become British champion. He's got a good world ranking, and now it's about him just consolidating everything that he is, keep improving as he is, and then we'll take each fight as it comes. He's ready for big fights.
Before I circle back to Josh, I just want to talk about Mick Conlan. Unfortunately, he didn't go your way on Saturday night in Belfast. First of all, how is Mick after a pretty heavy knockout?
He's devastated and heartbroken, and there are no two other words. That's it. That's how he is, devastated and heartbroken.
I mean, just obviously, before we talk about the fight itself, obviously when the knockdown came, you threw in the towel. What's going through your mind as a trainer to make that decision in that moment? Well,
I'm not really been allowed to indulge too many thoughts about last week, because we had to be back in the gym on Monday morning with a sparring session, and you know, in this gym everyone's so close that you win together and lose together as well, and so we just had to gather ourselves and get ourselves back together mentally and just get back to the job, which means I've not been able to indulge and look at it too much, think about it too much. So I don't really have too many questions in terms of what went wrong, what could he done, what could he not have done. I'll have to come back to that after June 24th. I'm staying in touch with Mick, but you know, at the moment there's not a lot to say.
Just obviously the first couple of rounds, I know you said you haven't really studied it, but the first couple of rounds seemed like Mick was in some sort of control, and then obviously Lopez had his moments. There's a rematch, something that you would look at in the future?
I don't know, that's your take on the fight. Like I said, I've not watched it, and so I'm not going to talk about anything about rematches or my assessment of the fight.